Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about a very important topic in HTML. So we're working on HTML block and inline elements. Now every HTML element has a default display value depending on what type of element it is. Alright, so there are two types of display values. We have the block and the inline element. So I'm just going to be discussing about the block element before discussing about the inline element. Now a block element always starts on a new line, and the browser automatically adds some space that's imagined before and after the element. Okay, a block level element always starts up the full width. It takes up, not start. It takes up the full width available, stretched out to the left and to the stretching out to the left and right as far as it can. Okay, so there are two commonly used block elements that we have the paragraph and we have the div. All right, so I'm gonna be showing you now. We have this. Let's just go down. Okay, we have, for example, we have the paragraph here. Let's just say, yep, this is a block element 1, and also we have a div. Okay, this is another block element. All right, now we have this paragraph here and we have this div element right here. So these are the two commonly used block elements that we have using HTML. Okay, now the p tag defines a paragraph, while the div element defines division or a section in an HTML document. The div defines a division or a section in an HTML document. So I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to be discussing deeply into the div shortly. Okay, so just let's just move down and get a result of this. So just go to your index page. Okay, so this is the index page here. I'm going to reload that. Now if you look here, I have, this is a block element 1 and this is another block element. Now you see that there is actually a kind of a margin, all right, on each one of them. Okay, so we have another this second one, there's another margin around the other one. So that's how the block element actually works, and you see that it's taking the entire width. It's taking the entire width of this particular space. It's taking the entire width. Okay, so the first block element took just this width. The second one is taking the other width. So that's what this block element is all about. Now let's go back to our code editor. Now I want to explain something briefly to you. Now this div element is often used as a container for other HTML elements. Okay, this particular div element I explained to you, that is we call it a division, or is a kind of a section. All right, so it is often used as a container for other HTML elements. All right, so the div element has no required attributes, but the style, we can put in style, class, ID are commonly used with it. So for example, okay, let me actually show you what it actually means by the element is used as a container for other HTML elements. So I'm just going to have here, so we're just going to create a div here. All right, so I'm going to put a style right here. So we have style. So I'm just going to give it a background color. Okay, let's give it a background color of black, and we give it a color of white. All right, and also lastly I'm going to give it a padding of 20 pixel. Now inside this div I'm going to have h2, so I'm going to have London here. Okay, and I'm gonna have another element again. So I'm just gonna have a paragraph. Now I'm gonna use a dummy word for this, so let's just use 15 words. Okay, so if you look at this, in this div I have this div now is standing as a container, okay, harboring one element which is h2 and another element which is a paragraph element. So this is how the div actually works. Okay, so we actually use it as a container for other elements. Okay, so if you dive fully into web development and start building applications and all those web pages, you start seeing that you have to build on sections, and the sections that you're building on, you'll be starting them with the div element. Okay, so this section for menu bar, this section for a carousel, this section, and all those sections you're going to be having, you're going to be declaring them starting with a div element. All right, so let's go check the result of this. Okay, all right, so this is the result of this. You see that it's taking the entire space right here. Okay, so that is actually this div taking the entire this entire space here. Okay, so that's all we mean by the div element, all right, which is also the block element. So nextly, I'm going to be explaining to you what the inline element is all about. Now the inline element does not start on a new line, okay, and also it doesn't take up, it doesn't start on a new line, okay, and only takes up as much width as necessary. Okay, the inline element doesn't start on a new line, and also the inline element only takes up as much width as necessary. So if you are putting a particular content, all right, if you are putting this, if you are using an inline element, that content that you have inside is how much width it's going to take. So let's move on. Let's put something. So example, the commonly used inline element, we use a span. Okay, so we have this is an inline element 1. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this, paste it. So I'm just going to differentiate this by 2 and differentiate this by 3. Third one is 3. Now let's go and check this out. All right, okay, so you see that this is an inline 1, this is an inline 2, and this is an inline 3. So you see that it actually brings this particular content on one line. Okay, so it's not starting on a new line, okay, but it's just taking as much width as necessary. All right, so the necessary width here is this particular content that is here. That's what it's taking. Okay, so it's not starting new line and taking the entire width of that particular line. No. Okay, you just take the necessary width, which is this, and the second one take necessary width, which is this. The third one take necessary width, is this. It doesn't start on a new line. It just goes in on straight lines. Okay, on just a straight line like that. All right, so that is what the inline element is all about. Now another thing you need to know is that the inline element is an inline container used to mark up a part of a text or a part of a document. So it's an inline container. Okay, so we use it to mark up a particular text or a particular part of the document. For instance, maybe you want to this particular content we have, maybe you want to change something here. So let's go back and do something here. So this is how we use it. We just come here, let's just come here and just put a span inside here. Okay, oh, sorry about that, just follow my lead. Okay, so just come here and we're going to close this span here. All right, now I want to change this to something. I want to style this. All right, so what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to put a style. Okay, I'm gonna have color. I'm gonna give it blue. Okay, and I'm gonna give it, change the use a font, oh, sorry, put a semicolon there. Oh, what's going on? Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. So I'm gonna have font width, which is, I'm gonna give it bolder, and lastly I'm gonna give it font size. I'm gonna give it larger. All right, now let's go see what that will actually give us. Okay, so you see that it only styles this. Okay, so this is how the inline element actually works. Okay, so we use it inside of an element, all right, to style a particular element. So that's how we actually use this particular inline element. So it's very, very simple, and we're going to be using all these elements in different applications. So I just wanted you guys to know how this actually works, the block element and the inline element. So that'll be all for now. All right, if you have any question, don't hesitate. You can get me and I will explain everything that is confusing you. All right, thank you for your time, and bye for now.